Have you ever wondered how fashion and beauty have evolved over centuries? Let's start our journey in the ancient civilizations where fashion was more than just a statement. Let's travel back to ancient Egypt, a civilization that thrived from 3000 BCE to 30 BCE. The Egyptians valued personal grooming and beauty, creating a culture where both men and women wore makeup, including kohl eyeliner and various ointments for skincare. They adorned themselves with jewelry, elaborate hairstyles, and iconic headdresses, making a clear statement about their status and identity. From Egypt, we move on to ancient Greece, which spanned from 800 BCE to 146 BCE. The Greeks celebrated the human body and natural beauty. Women dressed in draped garments like the chiton and adorned themselves with jewelry. Greek men, known for their athletic physiques, often competed in nude sports, displaying their physical prowess and beauty. Lastly, we visit ancient Rome, from 753 BCE to 476 CE, where fashion was heavily influenced by Greek culture. Roman women wore stolas and togas, while men typically wore tunics and togas. Both men and women used cosmetics, including lead-based face powder, to achieve a desired look. As we move forward in time, we'll see how these ancient influences continued to shape fashion in the medieval and Renaissance eras. Stay tuned to learn more about the evolution of fashion and beauty throughout history. Moving forward in time, we land in the medieval period where fashion was a reflection of social hierarchy and religious beliefs. In this era, garments were largely dictated by one's standing in society. Women donned long, flowing gowns with tight-fitting bodices, a style that was both modest and indicative of their status. Men, on the other hand, wore tunics, hose, and doublets, their outfits often adorned with symbols representing their family crest or trade. Religion, too, played a significant role in shaping medieval fashion. The church's influence was pervasive, and it manifested in the modest and somber clothing that was commonly seen during this period. Color, too, was a language of its own. Nobility often wore bright, rich colors, while the lower classes were relegated to more muted tones. As we transition into the Renaissance, a revival of classical art and culture begins to permeate fashion. Women's gowns become more voluminous, their hairstyles more elaborate. Pearls and gemstones, symbols of wealth and status, are woven into their coiffures and onto their attire. Men's fashion, too, evolves during the Renaissance. Clothing becomes more tailored, reflecting the era's appreciation for the human form. Doublets, breeches, and high collars were the order of the day, with the wealthiest men donning velvet, silk, and brocade. The influence of these eras is still evident today, but as we move into the 18th and 19th centuries, fashion takes a turn towards extravagance and luxury. Welcome to the 18th and 19th centuries, an era of extravagance, luxury, and strict societal norms. Our journey begins in the 18th century, a time of opulence and grandeur, exemplified by the Rococo period. Fashion during this time was elaborate and highly decorated, with pastel colors and luxurious fabrics setting the tone. Gowns swirled with floral designs, intricate lace, and delicate frills, reflecting the era's penchant for indulgence. Men's fashion, too, was far from simple. The well-dressed gentlemen of the Rococo period would be found in embroidered waistcoats, breeches, and wigs powdered to perfection. As the century progressed, however, so did the fashion. A shift towards neoclassicism emerged, drawing inspiration from the clean lines and simplicity of ancient Greece and Rome. The elaborate frills of the Rococo era were replaced by flowing garments, elegant in their simplicity. Women's dresses became less restrictive and more natural, while men traded their embroidered waistcoats for simpler, more tailored clothing. Fast forward to the 19th century, and we find ourselves in the Victorian era. This period was marked by strict societal norms, which were reflected in the fashion of the time. Women's fashion was defined by the hourglass silhouette, achieved through the use of corsets, bustles, and layers of petticoats. Men, on the other hand, donned tailored suits, waistcoats, and top hats. The Victorian era was a time of modesty and decorum, where every stitch and seam was a symbol of status and propriety. So, here we are at the end of the 19th century, having journeyed through an era of fashion that was as diverse as it was fascinating. From the luxurious Rococo period, through the simplicity of neoclassicism, to the strict societal norms of the Victorian era, fashion has truly been a reflection of the times. And that's where we'll leave off for now. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve into the fashion of the 20th century until the present day. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this. Goodbye.